You know what? I sort of feel bad for young Defiant because being a contrarian / troll or whatever the hell he is probably really tough in the landscape that we have on YouTube now. You have these horrible gaming reviewers and commentators like Under the Mayo, A British Potato, Cretosis, and Griffin Gaming, and let's not forget about Synthetic Man. His garbage take on Dead Space is woke because of all this stuff. He's so embarrassed by all this shit that he's not even gonna put out a video on the Dead Space remakes, and that's just simply hard for someone making content like Young Defiant to top. He tries with this video. Dead Space is garbage. If you buy Dead Space remake, you're an idiot. So I just feel a little bad that he has to go to such lengths to keep his props with all these idiotic commentators and reviewers out there. Seriously, to top some of these fucking idiotic commentators and reviewers out there now, he has to fucking go back in time and sort of say Dead Space was never good. And that just makes him sound like a fucking garbage tier moron more than he already has. Young Defiant, aka King of Gaming, King of YouTube, the realest gamer on the internet, 100% fact spitter, blah blah blah, king of anime, king of manga, and who's better than you in every way. Of course, a troll to the very end, cocky attitude, and hell, he doesn't even do that right. But seriously, Elden Ring doesn't deserve Game of the Year 2022, even though he built the Souls franchise, which he says in some of his videos, or he built some other game in, blah, 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 shitting on Berserk, clearly a troll, going with popular titles, just saying garbage in the most horrible font. Of course, bait. He wants people to take him unseriously. He wants people to do videos on him. And I'm playing into this. But why the hell not? Elden Ring's garbage. Sekiro is better than Elden Ring. Elden Ring sucks, boring, overrated, disappointing garbage. If you don't like Elden Ring, you're an idiot. Comments are disabled on this. And as I said, even his high hoity-toity at doesn't even fucking stand up to scrutiny. Let me give you a display of this. I mean, clearly it works for him. He gets subscribers, he gets views. Some people like trolls out there. I really haven't spoken on Synthetic Man and how bad his takes are. There's enough people doing that. And Young Defiant jumping on the remake, which Synthetic Man is sort of making an ass out of himself, even without having to do a review, is just thought I would bring into this. Subs and views does not matter when it comes to opinions on the internet.
I got my eyes open and I'm seeing. I got my ears open and I'm hearing. All this goddamn praise, masterpiece, game of the year from a bunch of clowns that don't deserve to play the game. A bunch of frauds. Yo, you same clowns hyping this game up never even played any of the other From Software games. You don't deserve to play this one. I am tired. Tired of you bandwagon sheep frauds trying to hop on something late. You don't deserve to play it. You're not real fans of From Software. You are a bunch of frauds and everything in between. You didn't put the work in like me. I am single-handedly responsible for making From Software games what they are today. If it wasn't for me buying their games and playing their games, promoting their games, and bringing awareness to the franchise, nobody would know about it. And that is what? A fact, not an opinion. I am so sick of you bandwagon clowns.
I mean, seriously, that is just so cringe and so factually impossible, along with his, troll, obviously, or borderline insane with personality split. I believe troll's the more likely case. DID is not that common, and someone with it probably wouldn't be allowed to be on the internet because they would have a safeguard to sort of make sure they don't do anything too insane. They would probably have a guardian if they were so insane that they could make 2 voices, 2 videos, 3 videos in some cases with contradictory opinions on it. And the dude isn't even really good at this. He's trying to make it up. He built Souls series from the start. He doesn't even put the work in and freaking doing the lore. Spitting real facts here. I worked in the gaming industry, not as serious, GameStop employee in the late 2000s. I freaking built the Souls industry. I freaking looked for that Demon Souls game. I pushed that game among the customers. Games spot TV, fuck those people. That's just propaganda, man. Seriously, I told the real shit to the real customers who came into that real store. I talked to the employees. I talked to even management sometimes about what the fuck they are doing wrong and the bad shit they're pushing. I was the one who freaking built Dark Souls from the ground up more than this freaking clown here. That's just a demonstration of really how he is failing. Young Defiant doesn't even put the work in to make his argument. Everything I just spit there is straight fact. I might have overhyped it like this man did, but shit. As I said, he's a failure even at this. Shit, I might play around on the internet and talk about all this shit, but dude, this guy have more subs than some of these other clowns. Actually, I respect. I can give that respect, man. Shit. I mean, it's still nothing to be taken seriously for real. So with that out of the way for Elden Ring, when this dude doesn't deserve to talk about freaking Elden Ring or Souls at all on the internet. Oh, sorry. Let me back off of that energy. I'm trying not to parody people as much anymore. Satire is fun. Sort of hard not to mock people, especially when they're this freaking out of their mind and you get some freaking people. There's my question. I don't expect to answer. Dude, 5 days. He's making money off of this shit. He would call him a grifter, or if everyone wasn't aware of just how dog shit he really is and how much of a troll he obviously is. People arguing, Young Defiant isn't a troll. How the fuck can you say that? Shit, his top 10 most overrated garbage manga had some decent points in it, but just, he had a very big hot take in it. I'm not even going to go over that right now. Let's go over his garbage take, and if you buy Dead Space Remake, you're an idiot.
If you buy the Dead Space Remake, you're an idiot. You know, this is the type of stuff that really irritates me because people want to be hyped now. People want to act like they're so excited now when they didn't care about this game back in the day. It's so funny. You people act like you have amnesia, like we can't expose you and go back in time and see you did not care about this game. You wanted no parts of this game, but now you want to play the game. Now you're excited for it. Listen, Dead Space has always been a game that only losers enjoy. That is a fact.
Dude, that is not a fact. You ain't spitting shit. You're talking some complete trash that's outside your fucking wheelhouse, you fucking loser piece of shit. I'm doing the imitation again, but still, really, as I said, I was on the grind set. You can have criticism of a lot of the Resident Evil games, but anyone who denies Resident Evil 4 was not pushing the boundaries of gaming at its time is sort of uneducated, and it clearly doesn't show that they existed in this space. Resident Evil 1 had props, 2 was okay, a lot of people liked it. I personally liked Resident Evil 3 back in the day, but these were the games back then. They were very clunky, blah, 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 and Dead Space, at least the original Dead Space, was a breath of fresh air. You weren't just shooting for the head, you had to take off body parts. It was cool. You had the powers that you had to do puzzle solving with. It was truly a breath of fresh air. Even the second Dead Space game wasn't that bad. I mean, it had some faults with it. Not even Dead Space 1 was a perfect game, but it was a fun game. Same for the second one. I might have fallen to the hype about 3, but just sort of moved on from there. Like this Young Defiant, I'm actually a Souls player. I pushed this game back in the day. I looked for Demon Souls when it was hard to get a copy of. I don't even remember if I got the copy right away because it's such a limited release in the States, but I looked for it while I was working. Eventually I got that copy. I've been on that Souls grind set since then, so I have more fucking cred in the Souls game. I'm betting I have more in the Dead Space. I'm not picking up the remake just right away. I got my own games here. You'll probably be seeing some footage from one of the old games or new Shin Megami Tensei games that I've been recently playing through. He talks some trash about going back in time and people not saying not everything's recorded. This game was the shit, but the internet was not really something. This was something you talked with people. I don't know if I should even play some more of this. listen to it. It's some straight out garbage, but it's hard to beat freaking Synthetic Man. The remake has the all gender bathrooms. Synthetic Man is a retard of freaking epic stupidity. The type of fucking moron who would think that Starship Troopers, where the men and women shower together, is woke. And women even being in the military, women of color sometimes even, would make it woke or some crap like that. The funny thing is about that is people on the internet argue about Spaceship Troopers being fascist propaganda or some bullshit like that. Just like Synthetic Man is pushing all his woke bullshit also. Yeah, there is shit out there that's woke. But when you freaking call in a few little changes, a few improvements, like a more realistic jacket that covers up the bosom of a character aging up some woman who's supposed to be respected in the game, to sort of giving some credence when we have greater graphical fidelity and modern day gaming. I'm sure they would have done this if they thought they could have. Dead Space wasn't a game that really was woke, and I doubt these conditions really are making it wokeified. Sure, more inclusive, but you want to get people in the door. All the superficial shit that people want to complain about, some complete and utter garbage. I generally just speak my mind when I got an idea for video, and I can't seem to lose this freaking Baltimore style accent. Sorry. More professional sounding voice I need to go with so people respect me. No, I don't care if people respect me. I'm gonna be me.
Not an opinion. The original games were complete garbage, and the remake is no different. In fact, it's even worse, as most remakes are. You know gaming is dead, and idiots just have no idea what they're doing, and ideas have dried up when they start handing remakes to games no one cared about to begin with, like Dead Space. Dead Space has always been completely irrelevant. It's nothing but a fake horror game that tries way too hard to be scary, but ultimately just ends up being cringe. A wannabe Resident Evil that's even worse, which is something that's hard to do considering how terrible the Resident Evil franchise truly is. Terrible games. If you like Dead Space and you plan on purchasing the remake, you are not a real gamer. You are a fraud and everything in between. Real gamers such as myself, on higher levels of thinking such as myself, don't play trash games like this. It would just never happen. We're too busy playing great games, having great experiences, and being higher level thinkers, unlike you that's busy being a lower level thinker.
That's about all I can take of this freaking straight up garbage. I'm sure it's entertaining to some contrarians and be like, what a sucking base sort of take on this. He gives no evidence. Even these trash commenters and reviewers at least gives something. This is just low tier, dumb ass insults that I'm the best, I'm the king, I'm the greatest of all time. Some freaking bullshit posturing that somehow got subscribers, gets views, probably because it gets a lot of bait on it. As I said, I might be a freaking idiot for actually making a video covering this idiot, but since Synthetic Man is actually probably hard to beat, I mean, dude talking straight garbage by saying no one ever cared about Dead Space. Dead Space was, after Resident Evil 4, Dead Space was on that platter. Game people wanted to play and survival horror. You had later years, you had people jumping on the Amnesia and Soma. Talking about that, Joseph Anderson's garbage take on Soma. So many people with pea brains don't understand different types of genres. And clearly, if dude was being serious here, which I don't believe he is, but if he was, I don't even know what sort of gamer cred or what sort of history he thinks he could state. Dead Space was one of the games in horror. I mean, I could be wrong. There could be predecessor, System Shock, BioShock. I mean, they all had the same sort of vibe. Dead Space sort of knocked it up a notch. Sure, there's some campy fucking elements in the game, but gameplay-wise, no matter what criticisms you might have for the far-out, weird-ass space Cthulhu shit of Dead Space, the gameplay, the voice acting was top tier for its age, at least in the first and second game. Can't really speak of the third game. We don't speak of the third game, just like we don't speak of Dark Souls 2, except for how stupidly jank that game was. Yeah, even Dark Souls 2 had some redeeming qualities because it was a soul game, but it was janky as shit and people exploited the shit out of the game, and that was the best way to enjoy it, is because of the fucked up features of Dark Souls 2. But as a game, it fell flat. Even Dark Souls 3 fell a little flat to Dark Souls 1 improvements, but I'm not talking about that here. Elden Ring, he talked a whole bunch of shit, but Elden Ring is straight fire, something the common public and dude thinking he's gonna be a gatekeeper, well, fake gatekeeper in this case, because the fact that anyone takes Young Defiant's views as anything but a joke or parody is just fucking hilarious to me. I mean, maybe at one time he wasn't trying to be a complete joke, complete clown who just fucking was a contrarian who just talked garbage and did the base Chad mail bullshit.
You're a casual, someone with terrible taste. How do you just wake up every day in the land of the free where you can be whatever you want to be and you choose to be a casual, a fraud, somebody with bad taste? You people are pathetic. That could never be me, but it could be you. This is the problem I have with modern day gaming.
This is my problem with modern day freaking commentary. Yeah, this guy's a troll. This guy's a joke. But some of these motherfuckers who are actually doing reviews, hence Synthetic Man, Under the Mayo, isn't as bad, Griffin Gaming. Let me not even get into the other two I mentioned in the beginning. Just complete garbage. I mean, they sometimes bring up a good point. No one would take them seriously. I don't think a lot of people should take them seriously. Probably someone like Griffin Gaming probably doesn't even want to be taken seriously. So many people want to be taken seriously in this fucking space. I don't fucking care about that. I hear straight garbage. It's funny to me. I can understand why this man, Young Defiant, has a following, but anyone actually seriously talk his fucking list of insults in any fucking video just makes me be like, okay, this dude's a liar. This dude's just fucking trolling. You fucking have your talking points. Yeah, just straight up garbage videos most of the case. Even Video Game Donkey comes off. I don't know why people take that dude seriously. Frankly, I had a debate with a friend over Video Game Donkey versus Yahtzee. Even Yahtzee, I won't say is top tier. I just think his comedy is better in relations to video games than freaking Video Game Donkey. Video Game Donkey makes me want to fucking donkey punch his fucking throat because that fucking voice of his. Yeah, I like the British-ish voice of Yahtzee, fast talking, smooth. He ain't always got the best ideas. Sometimes he goes too quick. He's extremely biased, but the dude has a straight up understanding of the fundamentals. And he doesn't really pretend like he's some serious person like some of these jackasses do. I mean, I get into all these journalists. As I said, I worked at GameStop. Fucking GameStop TV in the background. So many times I just tune it out because so much bullshit. Do I dare go on, see if he makes any relevant points? Fuck no. Real facts, this guy ain't got anything serious to say about anime in my opinion. Shit, I can't believe he knows anything more about anime than me. Video games, fucking thing. He doesn't even play games. He doesn't watch anime or manga. Or if he does, he just has this fucking, keeps on reading the same fucking stuff, getting stuck in his own fucking little echo chamber. There's also another problem with all these commentators, which I don't know if Young Defiant is parodying or satirizing with this. The return to the older days, only the older stuff. Fucking Synthetic Man. He was excited about the Dead Space remake, and dude, he still found problems with the wokeness. He's fucking finding problems with shit that he admits himself isn't even really work. He had to add this whole fucking, he has to spin this whole conspiracy theory that gamers are so dumb. Fuck you, Synthetic Man. Fuck you, Young Defiant. I don't really think gamers, people who play games, are as stupid as you make. You're so fucking intelligent. This isn't really Young Defiant because we clear. He's a troll with shitty ass takes so he can't actually take us serious. Young Defiant probably just learned he can't seriously critique anything with his limited intelligence, so he has to posture himself. Synthetic Man learning from this troll's example, falling farther into this joke of a man, spinning some fucking woke, gamers are dumb, only we see how they're subverting our culture. No, motherfucker, you're overreacting. Every time there's some serious woke shit, us actual sensible people who ain't fucking stuck in echo chambers, some of us go a little hyperbolic. I try to keep that shit down. But most of us are like, yeah, woke, does it ruin it or not? Let's get into the context. And pretty much the same shit here. So, to speak for real, Synthetic Man's just becoming a fucking dumbass version of Young Defiant who wants to be taken seriously. Thinks he actually knows gaming. Maybe they do, but they definitely don't speak it on their streams, tweets, or videos. They just come off as dumb jackasses with no fucking well, Young Defiant probably has some self-awareness. He milks this shit up. Synthetic Man, is he aware enough to know he's pulling from this fucking dumbass playbook? He's doing the alt-right pipeline bullshit justice by spouting about the JQ shit and all this wokeness is ruining games, when your problem with the games isn't even about the wokeness. It's about different stylistic choice that you don't want to fucking deal with because you're an entitled fucking gamer. Like Young Defiant pretty much plays act. As I said, Young Defiant is a joke. He really can't actually consider any of his fucking opinions, at least this current day. Probably even back then, he knew he just had to play into this fucking act. Someone like fucking Synthetic Man, dude, that dude's becoming a joke. He's gonna have to do this fucking posturing, just like Young Defiant. People are gonna come to light that fucking Synthetic Man is just gonna be like the alt-right boogeyman of fucking Young Defiant posturing bullshit. I think that's how it's gonna turn out. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this video. I feel sorry for Young Defiant. Synthetic Man is making him look like a serious critic. Till next time, I'm done.